As a man, you understand life when you realize that your mother is the only woman in this world who will love you unconditionally.
This is for all men. When you are disciplining your children, apply common sense. You know, this is a man's platform and we share script on this page. Yeah. It's going to take a lot for a child to hate their mom. What is it that the mom offers, the children? Compassion? Women are more abusive to children than the men because the men are usually not at home. A mom will scold a child and pull the child close and offer the child food. I was watching this podcast one time and this man said, "You offended your mom." The game of manipulation. You offended your mom at home. She didn't scold you. She said, "Let's wait for your father to come back." On this TikTok, the man came back. Your mom told your dad what you did. Your dad pick up cane and start floor, pa, 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 without even understanding anything, rather than apply common sense. And your dad was so mad. He said, "You're not eating any food this night. You go to bed hungry." Hmm? And your dad, after eating his food, he dressed up. He wants to go hang out with his friends. And he left the house. And your mom came to come and meet you in your room while you're still sobbing. No, 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 no. And she offers you food. In that scenario, as a child, you will love your mom, and your mom will give you food and say, "You better eat it real quick before your father comes." Who do you respect more in that scenario? Every child will say, "My mom loves me," including myself. I talk about my father all the time on this podcast. If I'm given the opportunity to select either my dad or my dad is my mentor. Through my father, I met the most powerful people in the world. I met the people that controlled the country itself, Nigeria. I will select my mom. Our father has more money than my dad. He has more connections. He loves me. But I will select my mother. Because even right now, as a teacher, talking to you guys right now, I strongly believe that my mother loves me more than my dad. Every child is going to take a lot for a child to hate his mom because we came from inside of that woman, all that blood, all that veins. We are connected, even without seeing our mama, seeing our mother. We are connected. Now that being said, we are all getting older. We're starting a family. We have, or some of you have families already. Apply common sense when you're disciplining or you're scolding your children. Don't become an enemy of your offspring. So you get me? They will hate you. And men sacrifice a lot for their family. Men literally sacrifice themselves. Apply common sense. Apply common sense. Everything is not blah, blah, blah. You learn to listen. Apply compassion. See things from the perspective of a child before you start picking up cane or before you just start lashing out emotional abuse. You get me? In this United States where we live, you see all this papa that came to America when my dad came here, 1972. Some came here 68. Their children don't talk to them anymore. Are you going to say that those fathers did not try for their children? They tried. But because you see, children remember things. Oh, children do not forgive. Children remember everything that has happened. They might act like they don't remember. They remember everything. And children will wait until they have the opportunity to seek their revenge. Children are very, very petty. Very, very petty. You get me? And they will take their revenge. Love your children, not for their sake, but for your own sake. So that way, you don't have a child that has held grudge against you. You see, their mom, it's going to take a lot for a child to hate his mom or to hate her mother. If you see a child say, "I don't like my mom," I promise you though, that mom has overdone it. But you, a man, all you just have to do is do one silly thing or say one small thing, your child will hate you completely. But because he doesn't have anywhere to go, he's going to take it, or she's going to take it and wait until. You see, this life, I say this all the time, it is for those that have wisdom. To ba lopolo lowi, you will live a peaceful life. Be a human being of few, be a man of few words. You come back from from work, your wife says certain things. You better just go in, lock the door, and act like you're scolding that child. Let your child know that I love you. Your mom will not act like. You get me? They will remember scenarios like that. I used to do this with my dad. We're not calling because as men, we like to think that we are raising strong men for the next generation, irrespective of your lessons or your teachings to your children. Life will still come from different angle and deal with them. You better be a support, a safe space. Be a safe space. Not for their sake. For your own sake. You don't want to have an enemy in your camp. A lot of men are raising enemies for themselves. Yes, you're raising because your child or your children has a grudge on you. That's why I said the life of a man, it is a miserable life. That's why I understand when I see women trying to become men. It makes a lot of sense. No, no, I understand when men try to be women. It makes a lot of sense. But when I see women try to become men, it doesn't make any sense to me. Because the life of a man it's a miserable life. You get me? You don't know when you're doing something that will jeopardize your future as a man. You might think you're standing up tall as a man. And you're fucking up your own legacy. Tell me a man that wants a child that will hate them. You get me? To some extent, if your child is in your life, you love them. You might not say it all the time, but you love them. You know you love them. That's the reason why you're grinding, you're working, you're thinking of a better way to make more money, to provide them a better life. But you see this life, I shall take care, man. I apologize for not coming in yesterday. I was just busy taking care of some things. Be well, friends.